Welcome to the JD Power Work at Home podcast. I'm Michael Vermillion with JD Power, and with me today are Mark Miller, leader of JD Power's customer service advisory practice. So welcome, Mark.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you having me.
We also have Scott Killingsworth, senior director with JD Power's customer service advisory practice. Welcome, Scott.
Hi, Mike. Glad to talk to everyone today.
And we actually have two special guests today. So Josh Gross, founder of Pizzatime, is with us. Welcome, Josh.
Thanks. Pleasure to be here.
And we also have Tom Bontempo, who's VP of Sales at JD Power. So welcome, Tom.
Thanks, Mike. Happy to be here.
So the work at home practice for JD Power is really an extension of our organizational best practices work here at the company. And our goal for this podcast is to highlight some of the organizational challenges of work at home. And hopefully we'll also point out some solutions. So with that in mind, let's jump in. So Josh, I'd like to start with you and just focus a bit on your startup company here, Pizzatime. So, what is Pizzatime?
Well, thanks again for having me. Pizzatime basically is a way of catering pizza parties, or in the case of Coffee Time, which is our other arm, coffee breaks with a team, no matter where they are. So your team can be entirely remote, whether they're all based in the same city or across the world. You can hold a pizza party, coffee break with everybody at the same time, and allows them to have sort of a shared experience.
Okay, it's a great idea. What was the inspiration behind the concept?
It's funny. We've always been a remote team. I run an agency called Planetary, and we have been remote for basically the past 8 years. And I've always tried to find opportunities to get the team together and have some unique experiences. And one of the things that we just kind of came up with a few years ago was let's order pizza for everybody, and see if we can maybe have everybody's pizza arrive at the same time, and we'll do a little luncheon kind of thing. At the time when I did it, I literally manually ordered pizzas for everybody on our team. I spent like several hours doing it, but it worked out great, and everybody really enjoyed the surprise and the fun of it. So, fast forward a couple of years, and we thought, well, why not offer this to others? Why not let other teams take advantage of this? And so actually prior to the pandemic was when we really had started doing this and offering it as a service, because we had already been so deeply into that mindset of remote and things we could do with remote teams. And the pandemic has really kind of propelled that forwards.
Yeah, we're always looking for ideas on how to help organizations address this challenge of work at home and managing remote teams. So why do you think this works, just in terms of that kind of shared experience? How does that pizza event or coffee event help with team engagement?
So if you think about it the same way that you would think about when everybody, in a pre-pandemic world, everybody was in the same office, and you'd have like a team lunch where everybody gets together, someone orders like a couple dozen pizzas. There's this really nice thing where people like loosen up around food. And that's true, like at a company with just family, whatever, everybody sort of loosens up around food, and it creates a sort of more casual atmosphere where you can chat, and everybody kind of gets an opportunity to know each other in a way that you wouldn't necessarily get to know each other on a completely work-based mindset. And so really all we're doing is taking that concept of being able to eat together in person and making it possible remotely. So you might not have the lunchroom and the stack of 20 pizzas, but everybody having the shared experience of a pizza showing up, eating together over a video call, being able to have a common thing that they're all doing together really helps bring a team together, and have an opportunity to engage with each other in a way that you wouldn't, especially remotely, where you may spend all day on Slack or other chat tools, and you don't get the same sort of casual interaction.
Yeah, and just anecdotally, we've heard a lot of positive reviews of this approach. So it sounds promising. What does the future hold for Pizzatime? What else are you guys working on over there?
So we have a number of different things in the works. we've got kind of like three different things we're sort of pulling on right now. Number one, we found that like in this, just to give some context, in December we actually had something like 400 parties, and we're getting bigger and bigger parties in every month. We just had another 350 person party booked. So we're trying to find opportunities to expand with those size, the scale of those parties, expand the types of offerings we have in terms of food, find different categories we can offer up that are beyond just pizza, just coffee, or even expand on that and offer a wider variety of things that can be delivered as a part of those experiences. The other one being adding more experiences. So, right now we offer a comedian, a DJ, and a trivia host as like entertainment that you can have along with your pizza or your coffee. And what we're trying to do is find other forms of entertainment that we can add into that. So find the things that pair well with food, like things that you can do sort of semi-actively or passively. You can enjoy it, and it's not like you're trying to do a handstand while eating pizza. People responded super well to the entertainment, and we're trying to find more options that people will really engage with, and it adds something to the event. It makes it even more special, and gives people sort of a thing to talk around.
Oh, that's really that's really cool, and sounds like a great idea and some great potential for the future. And if I could put a vote in, maybe barbecue, we could maybe put that on the list of new offerings. I don't know.
You wouldn't be the first person to ask for that.
So I'd like to turn to the JD Power team, maybe starting with Mark Miller. Mark, what do you think about the Pizzatime concept and what they offer and how it helps with team engagement?
Yeah, well, I love it. Of course, in the customer service, tech support, sales world, as Josh mentioned, very communal back in the days before everyone went home. And anything that you can do to bring folks together is great. And so the concept on its face makes sense. What I love about what Josh is saying, and which is really true for high performing organizations, is adding some goal or a contest. Especially, we have a process here at JD Power in our performance improvement group called co-opetition. I won't go into all the details, but there's ways to put teams together. And in this remote environment, I had one idea, just as Josh was talking, that you pair a couple of managers together inside your group and have pizza eating contests. And so the people who are brave enough to attempt it, they get the large pizza. Let's put the clocker on them. I ate 18 pieces of pizza in 6 minutes back when I was a competitive pizza eater. And so I can't do that at all today, but I remember how much fun it was to do stuff like that inside an environment. So right now we need some like levity, fun. And so this concept, especially the add-ons around the comedians, DJs, is a welcome break from, just work in general. So love the idea. It's very consistent with creating environments that high performers strive to create. So love the idea.
Thanks, Mark. Scott, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I can recall my own personal experience of, seeing all the emails at JD Power and the locations, and I've been working remotely for a couple of decades. And I saw the emails about, the ice cream party. And I sent a joking email to, the HR and said, "Hey, I hope you guys are enjoying that ice cream." Well, the next one, they had the ice cream day a few months later. And about the same time, FedEx showed up with my own personal ice cream. And I just thought how special and thoughtful that was for them to do that. And as special as that is, I think companies really need to think about, a strategy around it, right? So it really falls kind of in between employee engagement and, reward recognition incentive. but be intentional about it, right? I know kind of the one-off pizza party's nice, but I think if you don't have a strategy around it, folks responsible for it. I know it does happen organically, but I think you'll get the most benefit over time if it's something that's planned, frequent, and has some variety to it. And as Mark said, some fanfare made out of it, competition, co-opetition, teams competing against each other for, the highest metrics in customer sat or some other metric, and to get the most from a performance standpoint out of it.
Thanks, Scott. Tom, I understand you're a new Pizzatime customer. Have you had your event yet?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. And Josh and I had an opportunity to speak earlier. And yeah, Monday evening, as the head of sales for JD Power, we have practices in financial services and insurance and travel and hospitality, telecommunications, energy. So we're spread out all over the country. And, 2020 was tough because there wasn't an opportunity to get together. We weren't getting together for sales calls, and so with a global pandemic and an economic downturn, right, there was an emotional impact that everyone felt, and we had to reinvent ourselves as both team members and companies to do things differently. And guess what? None of us have ever faced anything like this before. So 2020, what I really tried to do was, do the virtual happy hour, impromptu meetings, team meetings, not heavy on agenda, getting our skill set better with video skills. And then ending 2020 and going into 2021, I said to myself, look, here's the difference between 2020 and 2021. There was uncertainty in 2020. There was not a vaccine. However, now there's hope with a vaccine coming. But guess what? That there's a road to get to that hope, right? Before we go back to not an old normal, but a new normal. And so I said to myself, I personally want to change up everything that I do in 2021 so that it doesn't feel like we're in a 2020 hangover. And what great, better thing to have is Mike introduced me to Pizzatime, and on Monday evening, I had 30 of my team members in a pizza party. They loved it. They loved the concept. Guess what? It was easy to order, very intuitive of what we needed to do. Everyone got a customized link, and they put in their address information. And I will tell you, the places that everyone said were picked for the pizza places were really like top notch. I live in New Jersey, and we have several in our town, and the pizza place they picked was a great one. So it was delivered a half hour before the meeting. Everyone had a good social event, and it was something different for me. So, Josh, thank you so much for your business model.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. We try to pick really like top-notch pizza places. We don't go for the chains unless we're really forced to, because there's so much good pizza that can be delivered. So many good local places, no matter where you really are. So we've tried to make it a point of like finding places. We've had so many people come to us and say, where did you get this pizza from? Because it's fantastic. And we're like, oh, this, it's a so-and-so place near you. And they'll have had no idea that they had a pizza place that was that good near them. And that's happened a few dozen times at this point where we've actually introduced people to new restaurants that are within miles of their house.
Well, it's a great story, great way to finish up. So Josh and Tom, our special guests, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really a pleasure to be here.
And Mark and Scott, thank you for joining us today as well.
Always a pleasure, Mike. Thanks.
Yep.
And we want to thank our listeners as well. To learn more about the JD Power Customer Service Advisory Practice, please visit us on the web at jdpower.com/business, and we'll see you next time.